A community has started saying goodbye to a fallen police officer. We'll show you how he's being remembered.
We'll show you how one high school plans to honor Officer Ellis as his procession passes by their building tomorrow.
People in one community turning their lights green to honor a paramedic who died after a car hit him.
This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon to you. It is a chance to say a final goodbye to a man who died while serving his community.
Visitation for Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis began at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Eastern Kentucky University. Hundreds are expected to pass through Alumni Coliseum to pay their respects. Our Victor Puente begins our top story team coverage live now on the EKU campus. Victor.
Members of law enforcement from across the state continue to arrive here at Alumni Coliseum. This is the beginning of the goodbye for Officer Daniel Ellis. Many of those who came for today's visitation knew Daniel Ellis well. Greg Witherspoon says he saw Ellis at EKU's homecoming.
You know, he just told us that he got a promotion to detective and basically he's going to get pulled off patrol, and he's talking about how excited he was.
And then again at UK Hospital last week.
We have a close bunch of friends that all went to school together, and so, you know, naturally a lot of us came from all over the state to go to the hospital where we were waiting more news.
Ellis was shot last Wednesday while investigating an attempted robbery. Law enforcement from across the country are expected to come to his funeral tomorrow, but today seemed to be mostly from agencies closer to home.
When something happens this close to home, it really hits, but when it hits anywhere, it really hits hard. So to imagine having to go through this with your agency would be just a nightmare. So
this visitation lasts until 8 o'clock tonight. Officer Ellis's funeral is tomorrow at 11. Then he'll be laid to rest in Adair County around 4:30. Live in Richmond, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. The man charged with shooting Officer Ellis, Raleigh Sizemore, is being held on a $2.5 million bond.
Hundreds of high school students will be among those honoring Officer Ellis tomorrow. The funeral procession will pass by Rockcastle County High School on the way to Officer Ellis's burial. WKYT's Phil Pendleton continues our team coverage with a look at how students will pay their respects.
Rockcastle County High School sits here right on the Mount Vernon bypass, and early tomorrow afternoon around 1:30 to 2 o'clock, they will walk down here close to Highway 461, many of them wearing blue, as many as 800 students, all in support of the fallen officer.
I thought this would be a good opportunity for our students to pay their respects.
Principal Jennifer Mattingly says when they learned that the processional would come right by the high school, she thought of a great way to pay tribute and to give students a unique lesson at the same time.
This is an opportunity for our students to see something larger than themselves, to maybe pay their respects to a person that they don't know, but a person who's part of a group that serves them every single day.
Wanting students to realize the work and sacrifice officers make, and that life is precious and can be taken so quickly.
And I think our students will be impacted by that processional and seeing the number of officers who are present, and just knowing that that family is in that processional and that motorcade, and that they are going to bury a husband and a father and a brother and a son. And
I'm also told that the Junior ROTC is going to be planning a ceremony. Again, tomorrow is Veterans Day, so they will be here in support. There will be a large banner that the art department will have worked up to show support to Officer Ellis and his family. In Rockcastle County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The principal says they are not making the gathering a mandatory assembly, but she believes most students will choose to take part. Here is a look at the procession route. Police expect Officer Ellis's procession to begin around 1. It will wind its way through Richmond before heading south on I-75. The procession will exit at US 25 in Mount Vernon and then follow highways 461 and 80 to Somerset. It will then take the Cumberland Parkway to Highway 127, where it ends at a cemetery in the Pellytown community of Adair County. Students at Madison Central High School have joined with the Richmond Police Department to help Officer Ellis's family. They've started a GoFundMe page to raise money for his wife and son. She's an assistant principal at Madison Central. Green lights have started popping up in honor of a paramedic.
John Mackey died yesterday at UK Hospital. He was hit by a car while on duty in downtown Nicholasville last Thursday night. Our Hillary Thornton talked to some of the people who are showing their support.
The Jessamine County community is making several tributes to longtime paramedic John Mackey. One of those is by turning their lights green, including here at one of the EMS bases where Mackey worked. Changing of light bulbs seen throughout town, from the courthouse to front porches to the places where Mackey worked for 16 years. Green lights glowing throughout town, not uncommon this particular week, with the color also serving as a tribute to veterans. The lights now taking on another meaning, remembering the fallen paramedic.
I'm doubly proud to put the green light bulb up.
Sherry Presley, a veteran herself, knows what it means to dedicate your life to service. She and others in the community say the green light is in memory of Mackey, but also a show of support for all EMS crews.
A terrible loss. The EMS in this town work constantly. You always hear sirens going that they're responding to one incident or another.
Now, something positive through all of this that those close to Mackey are holding on to is the fact that the man that dedicated nearly 2 decades of his life to saving others will continue to do so as an organ donor. In Jessamine County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
The visitation for Mackey will be held this Thursday from noon to 9 at Bethel Harvest Church. His funeral service will take place at 2 o'clock Friday afternoon, also at the church.
Well, we saw some sunshine out there today ahead of some rain and possible storms. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here now to tell us when those storms and that rain might arrive.
Yeah, we still got about another 24 to 30-hour window of mainly dry weather before we get that strong cold front into town, Amber. That should be tomorrow night. Gusty winds, some rumbles of thunder sweeping across Kentucky. You mentioned the sun finally taking over this afternoon. Started out on a gray note. We were yesterday saying patience would be the key today to get those, wait out the clouds, get them on out of town. You'll see a little afternoon sun. That's what we're seeing right now. Sun getting ready to call it quits here this evening. Current temperatures ranging from the upper 40s to the low 50s across the entire region. Those winds now becoming a little more from the southwest. That clearing line is now right on top of Mount Sterling, down into the urban area of Estill County, and the farther east that we go, unfortunately, more in the way of some thicker overcasts into far eastern Kentucky. Slow clearing out there this evening as thermometers drop close to 40 by 11 o'clock. Quick drop in temperatures with drier air that is moving on in. Then we focus on that next storm system that is developing into the Rocky Mountains. That will bring some thunderstorms our way tomorrow night. Gusty winds will also be on the increase. And when I come back here in a little more than 5 minutes, guys, we're going to track both the threat for some thunderstorms and those gusty winds with a new hour-by-hour forecast.
A state representative has filed a bill to improve school bus safety. The resolution encourages state agencies to increase awareness and training in Kentucky school districts. The bill was filed in response to the death of 5-year-old Jaden Hawkins in September. The Butler County kindergartner was hit and killed by his bus shortly after getting off at his grandmother's home. 3 men, including a U.S. citizen, are accused of the largest ever theft of consumer data from a U.S. financial institution.
They allegedly stole the personal information of more than 100 million customers. But as Marley Hall tells us, prosecutors say they also committed many other crimes.
Federal prosecutors say they have broken up a massive cyber criminal enterprise that hacked financial institutions and stole customers' personal information.
By any measure, the data breaches at these firms were breathtaking in scope and in size.
The hackers targeted 12 companies, including 7 financial institutions, and media outlets, including the Wall Street Journal. The largest attack was against JP Chase last summer, when the records of more than 83 million customers were stolen. The FBI put out this wanted poster of the lone American suspect, 31-year-old Joshua Samuel Aaron, who was born in Maryland. He's believed to be living in Moscow. The alleged ringleader of the enterprise, Gary Shalom, and the third suspect, Ziv Orenstein, are both in custody in Israel. Prosecutors described a complex scheme in which the suspects pumped up the value of penny stocks by sending spam emails to addresses stolen in the hackings. They then dumped the stocks at inflated prices, making tens of millions in illegal profits.
In our view, the conduct alleged in this case showcases a brave new world of hacking for profit.
The indictment spells out 23 counts against 3 suspects, including computer hacking, securities, and wire fraud. Marley Hall, CBS News, New York.
The scheme allegedly dates back to 2007. E-Trade and Fidelity Investments are 2 of the other companies that were hacked. The top 8 Republicans vying for president take to the stage in Wisconsin. It's the GOP's 4th debate and the second one to focus on economic issues. The debate will last 2 hours and will air at 9 o'clock on the Fox Business Network. Protesters on the University of Missouri campus say they plan to continue demonstrations. Protests led to the resignation of the UM system president and chancellor of the system's main campus yesterday. Students have expressed anger over the handling of racial issues on campus. And next, the protesters want a meeting with the Missouri governor and university leaders. They plan to continue camping on campus for as long as it takes.
So us being out here, we're going to be out here as long as we can, you know. This is a visual representation of the movement, and it's not going to be done with. So I feel like people would actually take us, like if we were to leave, they would think we're done. No, we're not done at all. We're not done at all. So as long as the weather permits us to be out here.
About 200 people gathered on the Missouri campus today to hear student grievances about the administration's handling of racial issues.
Congress has voted to ban moving detainees from Guantanamo Bay to the U.S. The measure is part of a $600 billion defense bill. President Obama has been trying to move the detainees to the U.S., but so far the White House has not threatened to veto the bill. Investigators looking into the crash of a Russian plane have turned their focus to those who had access to the plane. Egyptian security officers are questioning everyone, including hotel workers and those involved in catering. Both the British and U.S. have said it's possible a bomb brought the plane down over Cairo on October 31st.
Cleaning up just one piece of chewed gum can be a challenge. Well, imagine having to clean up 20 years worth of gum. Workers in Seattle steam cleaned the city's iconic gum wall at the Pike Place Market today. It had to be cleaned because sugar in the gum was damaging the bricks. The gum will be weighed to figure out just how much was there. People will be allowed to start sticking their gum there again starting later this week.